Well, today's been a bad day for me. So what do you do when you have a bad day? Well, you play a game which is certain to make you feel even worse. Yeah, real smart move. But there's a need for me to make some progress, so there's no point in not playing. Or better say, there's no point in not recording my playing. Well, Brightstone Cone Seldora. Place where they mined the bright stone, which is, well, some sort of mineral ore or something of value, and well, Seldora is the place where they made it. Or gathered. I don't know. Is it? It's a bit hard to say that. Was this place some sort of old mine? Well, whatever it was in this shape with crumbling walls and breaking down structures, it's quite easy to say that whatever there was the mining, the operations have become quite much not as good. Well, but then again, working in these conditions, it's no wonder that it's gone. And those peasant dudes, they seem to be mining it. And of course, the wider spider motive, it's quite bizarre knowing that, well, there are plenty of spiders in here. There's no denying that. But it also feels like that the spider motive is less of a... It's some sort of... you could probably say it's some sort of form of appeasement. That there were lots of spiders in here. And because there were so much of spiders, they decided to worship them because, hell, they didn't want them to start harassing their mining operations. Well, that guy, Red Phantom, had carried a mattock, but he died. Some homeward bones. And some handy stuff. Well, this kind of huge number of spiders should tell that, or better say, should give quite of a prediction about what's about to be faced in here, which is more spiders. And going forward. Oh, look, and the point of no return. Now the only way is forward. Quite a lot of common in Dark Souls 2, or Dark Souls in general. You can go forward, but eventually, and you can go backwards, but eventually there will be a point where you cannot go backwards, at least with normal methods. And of course, when there's so huge structure of spider web, you begin to wonder what has made it. Well, answer is a spider. Spiders are quite reclusive animals. They don't like each other company, and except that's a bit of a strange. There are places where there are several spiders living. Well, you couldn't say that they are living together, as they in a sense do not cooperate so well, but they live in a you could say that they live together as separate individual spiders, not as what society of spiders, more like a big number of spiders being in one place at the same time, like some sort of ant super hive, which is several ant hives working together to form one gigantic hive with several queens and drones. But just in case, I did some summonings. Mostly because these spiders can be quite annoying. Mostly because there's so many of them. Let's use this. Oh, there was a spider again. So it's time to go and enter this place through the mist. The big cave with red glow. That's lots of spiders. And they are clutching into something. Oh yeah. An even bigger spider. Yeah, and it seems to have some sort of authority over the smaller spiders, and there's lots of them. And gigantic two body parted spider. I don't know what kind of drugs they were taking in From Software when they got the idea for this thing, but I can say that it was quite nasty stuff they were taking. And looks like that thing is quite durable about the poison thing. But luckily it has weak spot on both ends, so in a sense you cannot fail. But like in many at least in Dark Souls 2, it's more like it's quite clear that more often than not being far from boss is better than staying near it. But I'm quite over leveled, so the spider isn't so. But that form it has, it makes it quite difficult to oh, it lost a head! Oh, I don't remember I have earlier faced that thing of Duke's Dear Fraser. So that's the spider's name. Oh damn it, it's going to the jumpy fields. And it's right to the head. quite unpleasant. But unlike the other, you could call them great souls, this one didn't carry it itself, it just seemed to guard it. Usually Freya itself did not have a great soul, and it wasn't a creature of it, it just kept it. And it seems like that kind of petrified dragon thing or something was the source of the great soul, maybe. But that's just theory. Dark Souls is a game with very minimalistic storytelling. And there's a guy wearing fancy clothing and a quite fancy looking sword as well. He probably was the Duke. Yep, he was the Duke and he had some fancy things. It's time to go still forward to a vast empty chamber and open the fire. Primal bonfire lit. And actually now there's just one more place which is unexplored about these bonfires, and that is right below Drang Lake itself. And I'll be going there to Black Gulch. Well, here I am in the Black Gulch. Place absolutely plagued by these fire spewing, actually not fire spewing, poison spewing things. They are absolutely annoying. But in the Black Gulch there's also these puddles, and some of them do lurk, have enemies lurking inside them, but luckily they're stupid enough so that once you shoot the puddle and it catches on fire, the things just quite stupidly just keep sitting there until they burn to death. Of course it helps if you know where they are, those things, but there's always the option of just trying to shoot each and every of these containers or jars or however you want to call them by themselves, and that means when you shoot each and every one of them, that means you will hit those boxes which have monsters inside. And these things are definitely worth smushing to bits because they are just so annoying. Those poison darts not only poison you, they also give hit stun. And those things are very scary looking, but luckily they are in a sense completely harmless, as they don't have much of in terms of intelligence. They just sit in those holes, and you can go to the side and just carve them to bits and time to drop down. Oh yeah, Black Gulch has a few of these drop down places. Well, hello there, Lucatiel.
Oh, you... My thoughts are very scattered.
That's sad.
What is this curse? The question rings in my mind, but I haven't the focus to answer it. Loss frightens me no end. Loss of memory, loss of self. If I were told that by killing you I would be freed of this curse, then I would draw my sword without hesitation. I don't want to die. I want to exist. I would sacrifice anything at all for this. It shames me, but it is the truth. Sometimes I feel obsessed with this insignificant thing called self. Even so, I am compelled to preserve it.
That's called survival instinct.
So, surely you do the same in my shoes. Maybe we're all cursed. From the moment we're... Sometimes, even... Maybe we're... From the moment...
So, that's actually very, in a sense, very sad. Becoming hollow and losing your mind. I guess that's what the hollowing is. It's the more or less completely inevitable insanity caused by your undeath. Not being able to die, knowing that there is no any kind of afterlife or respect after death, only just the fact that you wake up again in some other place and nothing has actually ever changed. It's there's a lot of undead in this game, or in these games. It's actually it ain't so cheerful. Oh, that one was close. I really don't remember which of these containers had monsters in them, so I'm just gonna put fire on more or less each and every one of them. And a computer controlled invader. But luckily there are these fires I can use to my benefit. And apparently the poison attacks also affect him. Actually, doesn't look like it. Yeah, these computer-controlled enemies are usually quite stupid. But stupid doesn't mean harmless. Nice stab to the chest. And he goes to other side. And he gave me a human effigy. And once again I got bloody poison stuck in me. Divine blessing, just nothing really useful, just a item you can use. God damn it, I hate these things, they're just so bloody annoying. I really don't remember. Did this game have a method to make you immune to poison? There's ways to increase your resistance towards it, but being resistant to poison doesn't make you immune to being hit by these things. And that is the annoying part is that not the damage caused by poisoning, although that can fuck you up in the long term, but the fact that it's just so annoying. There's some sort of sinister moaning sound in there, which sounds like a boss. And it is completely true that there's a boss there. The last of the 4 great soul carriers. And once again a guy. I wonder who is actually carrying... leaves all these petrified people around. Because there's no petrifying enemies in here. Which could be explained why there's a petrified body in here, but I will now call forth Lucatiel. For she is great aid. Or say she ain't so great aid, or you might say it's not even necessary so vitally important, but I still did the summonings just because I'm a cowardly scrub. So it is time to go and face whatever lies here. A big thing made out of merged bodies. It looks like it's trying to build something, and it's got a cleaver, and it's not doesn't like it. It's frustrated. On some kind of mask, making a vague face. That thing is just disturbing and also quite bizarre in finding out what is that thing. It's the Rotten. Yes, the name is quite understandable. It's some sort of amalgamation from corpses and bodies dropped into this place, the Black Gulch. But its actual identity is a bit of hard to guess. Time to buff up the sword and get up to this ugly face. And it dies. Mostly because 4-on-1 makes odds of defeating something quite easy. And I got its soul. And these fire things were quite much just here, not so necessary. So some kind of in a design sense, the Rotten has some parallels with the monstrosity known as Gravelord Nito of Dark Souls 1. What's here? Petrified something and some spices. Those spices are actually unique mechanic for Dark Souls 2, and that place leads to a DLC place, but first let us find the bonfire. Oh, what was that? There was a lot of explosion and fires, but they don't damage me. And what is that? Many. So, oh. So I must find him. Now that thing was not in the original Dark Souls 2. That game was brought forth later with the Scholar of the First Sin, in a sense to make a plot bit more comprehensible. Well, I could travel back to the Majula with that, or I can go a bit further and examine this. Which I do. I'm going to the DLC place mostly because I can travel to Farfire from any bonfire. But in here, a very bleak and inhospitable place appears. I'm going to light a torch just to carry the flame closed. That means I cannot get there. Well, that's a bummer. I guess I have to return here once I manage to get further. And actually, the next place for me to go is start to get towards the Drang Lake Castle, which I had already opened. So I'll be going there. Actually, there's a bit thing. There's beneath the Black Gulch lies this weird ass cave and this very weird ass guy in a chair.
Meet again, young undead.
Have I met you before?
You have the look of a true seeker. I am Dark Diver Grandal, seeker of dark, giver of dark.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
If you seek true dark, I will grant it to you, as much as you desire. Well then, is dark what you wish for?
Actually, yes. The Dark Driver, well, Artorias was dark.
You are now a pilgrim of dark.
Oh yeah, Artorias of the Abyss. Abyss Walker.
Those drawn to the dark are destined to seek it.
So, This is actually one of the more mysterious things in the Dark Souls 2 and hell, the whole Dark Souls. Well, there was this abyss thing, something caused by primordial existence, and it somehow coalesced into this entity known as Manus, Father of the Abyss. But that's probably not the whole thing there is to say about that kind of matter. As there is. Oops. Ah, fuck! Well, this... Coming back. Well, this dark chasm of the old does have lots of... what's it, parallels and similarities to the Black Chasm of Abyss, in that it's a place of place of darkness, this pit. It's a completely, it's an eldritch location without very much of shit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Things get difficult when you face more than one opponent, especially when they are this kind of mutually quite supporting pair. A horrifying shit thing with a extremely tough armor and a guy spewing pyro magics at you like there's no tomorrow. And for that bastard there is no tomorrow. If either of them was alone, this wouldn't be so hard. Mostly because the basic rule of Dark Souls is that any one opponent is something you can dance around. But when there's more than one, things get difficult. Like this bastard wearing this. But now you're alone, so now I'm gonna just stick you full of arrows and let you die painfully. Yeah, I'm gonna just watch how you die to poison. Yep. You're wearing a bloody ugly turban in your head as well. Come on, don't hide yourself behind the fire. Yeah, kick over and die, you little bastard. Well, the Dark Soul of Chasm of Old. It's location-wise, it's got this. It's dark cave. There's also a sense of dampness in here, as in water. And enemies which are quite strange. Not necessarily in sense, well, some of them were quite dangerous, but some of them mostly are not. I really can't remember what it was. That is this the same place as in the same as the abyss beneath the Ulasil and Manus, or is this some other place? It like through the ages the abyss has changed, and well the Grandal Dark Diver called it the Darks, which men strive toward seek. But those guys are carrying those big hammers. Well, now at least I have some bit more space. So it's a bit more effective to space is good. When you have a way to retreat and maneuver, things are not so dangerous. They are dangerous, but not so dangerous. Come on, stay in the cloud. Alright, now, good. Now you die, kill over as well, you idiot, turtle-brain bastard. They really populated this place with the more annoying things available, which is, of course, is the most dangerous things in Dark Souls usually are not big monsters. Well, they are dangerous, but they're usually dangerous in predictable matters, while those things, those bastards, are dangerous in unpredictable manners. Just go and stab that thing to death. But so, the Abyss, some sort of thing which lures people towards it. People are interested, crave it, desire it, and it depends. Well, probably Artorias, well, he was the first Abyss Walker, although Abyss Brute more stronger than him. But I guess this is something, but to do the abyss walking you needed have the expertise of the Covenant Ring. Except the abyss dwellers were the four kings of New Londo, or however they were, and Artorias went and challenged the abyss and failed, lost it. Although of course the chosen undead then made the myth of Abyss Walker be real, which is in a sense interesting. Something like a, well, Jesus was some sort of mentally retarded goon, and time traveler for some reason happened to make them. And yeah, the basics. You go through the cavern, kill enemies, and light up a torch. That's Abyss. So let's have a chat with Grandal again. Oh yes.
Young undead, the dark beset upon you runs deeper than I had imagined. Let us see just how much dark you can endure. You have seen dark that has existed from times long past. What once was a great void of darkness became but fragments.
Oh.
But slowly, the scattered fragments grew, absorbing all things. It is we who will be pilgrims to these sacred sites.
And Resonant Soul. So, the Dark Manus was killed and shattered, and he became this whatever entity thing found in many holy places. So let's have a more chat.
The embrace of the dark is gentle. Let it absorb your sorrows. May the dark.
So that's actually quite interesting. It's a covenant which is all about a little side quest of wandering towards the dark chasm of abyss. Well, Drang Lake Castle is my next place, and there's 3 dark chasms of old you must traverse to actually complete that storyline of Dark Chasm. I'm going now to Drang Lake Castle, trying to get forward. Well, on the way to Drang Lake Castle there's this Shrine of Winter. And try to get through it. And there's ice, winter level of place. In Dark Souls there's usually not much, at least Dark Souls 1 and 2, there wasn't so much of these cold places. But this DLC area really makes it so that yes, there are, and of course being a undead, cold has nothing to do. Well, despite all the good advice that's usually told to this, the undead are usually not, well, when you are dead, you can just keep wandering towards insane places, like frozen castles. Let's just go. Alright, whoever is here doesn't want me to get here, so I actually do follow her advice and go back. Hey, and now let's try to get this to here. And once again a big impressive door. And what kind of horrifying hellhole is so deep below the ground that even the rotten is high in comparison. But there's some ruined walls. So as I say, this is a very deep place. But then again, knowing that you have to teleport here, it's probably not too deep, but Sanctum City, Tuhoamista. This is deep. Oh shit. And a dragon. I guess I won't get up. And that actually gives a bit of throwback to the only DLC of Dark Souls 1 in which you fought the Black Dragon Calamite, and it sort of like that, and that looked more to be a white dragon. But actually, resting on this bonfire actually end this episode, so I'll see you next time. See ya!